right, welcome to the These with Chill podcast. I am your host, Chill. Today we'll be doing season 1 finale along with episode 23, 24, and 25 of Attack on Titan. As always, I am joined by Colton, Lee, and David.
Oh, switching her up.
Trying to throw a little curveball at me. Oi, oi.
Such a good curveball, he almost confused himself.
I know.
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi. So let's just jump right into it.
Let's get right into this.
This is
Let's get this.
insane.
These 3 episodes were pretty cool.
Pretty cool?
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
we
I
literally
agree.
just got done watching these.
Even though I did, again, get some tired of some Aaron.
Yeah.
Imagine.
What do you know?
Yes, imagine.
More screaming, more whining,
Yeah, he's
More-
very much a screamer in this first episode.
more wasting of time and not turning into a Titan.
But that's not all that happens.
No, it's not all that happened.
It's
Episode
just
23
a big
is
part.
called Smile, Assault on Stohess, Part
That's
1.
why he texted me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we
It was
were
kind of an
already-
ominous text, if I'm being
I
honest.
said,
Oh, I
what the
bet.
hell does this mean?
So basically, I was running late to the podcast, and these 3 were watching the episode, which I asked them to do it so that we'd have time to record. What did I say?
Text me when you got into smile or something like that.
we didn't know what you meant.
Headed home, let me know when the smile hits.
When
Oh,
the
yeah.
smile, yeah, like, it's so worded,
We
like...
thought something specific was going to happen to make us smile.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was like something bad is about to happen.
Yeah.
And I said, or something awesome.
Or something badass.
What was it? It
I mean,
wasn't
just
anything-
an Annie episode, which I'm always okay with.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Stohess district on eastern Walsana. Annie prepares to join her military police in a mission to escort Eren to the capital until she is pulled aside by Armin, who asks for her assistance in sneaking Eren away to safety. Hesitantly agreeing, Annie is led by Eren, Armin, and Mikasa to a tunnel leading underground. Annie refuses to follow the scouts below, and their suspicions that Annie is the female Titan are confirmed.
I knew it.
What? Escaping capture, Annie transforms in the middle of the city. What did we think about this episode?
That's
thought it
a
was
great
good.
episode.
That was a great
yeah.
episode.
Great episode.
Awesome, actually.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
You get your first taste of what the MPs are like,
Yeah.
which are worthless.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's the only one who's seen any actions.
They confirmed that too. And I mean, if we're going to jump right into it, the episode starts off, we don't ever get like Annie backstory. This is
No.
the first time we get Annie's backstory.
Annie wakes up and she's looking rough
Yeah,
in the
she's
morning.
had a-
She's late.
She's had a
It's like she's had a really long night.
of running around a forest.
Right.
Whoa. But her dream is of her and her dad, presumably, some older gentleman, fighting with each other.
Yeah, teaching.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Do
too.
we know, just like a little sub, how much of a distance this is from wall to wall to wall?
It's miles.
Yeah, it's
Miles.
I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's
how
going
many?
to take her a while to get back.
I could look it up.
Do they have it?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
sure
sure.
they do.
I'm curious about it, just because how realistic is it that she's
That ODM
out in
gear
the
get you back quick.
Well, but there's no trees to swing back
Yeah,
for
it's
it,
a
so
completely
she just
Right.
have to be
surface.
running.
or on horse, but then ODM gear is not supposed to be used within the city without a permission.
She's also not supposed to be a Titan, so she probably doesn't give a F
That's
about
true.
using
She
ODM
also
gear inside the
wasn't
city.
supposed to kill the 2 Titans that were meant to be test subjects.
Yeah.
Ding.
So I don't think laws apply.
I want to know who she's
So
working
it
for.
says the distance between Wall Maria and Wall Rose is said to be about 100 kilometers. The distance between Wall Rose to Wall Senna is about 130 kilometers.
That's really far.
Damn.
230
On
kilometers
horseback, foot, and ODM.
But this is Titan.
and Titan running.
Titan running, though.
That's Titan running is just as fast as horse running.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well,
But,
unless you're the main characters.
but we
'cause
don't know
then
how
it's
much
not
time
as
has passed
fast.
in between the
That's
last
true.
couple episodes and
That's
what's
true.
going on in
But
this.
she had to have gone missing for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
But she's also transferring. It's implied that the time that this mission started was almost immediately after people were choosing their specified stuff. So we don't really know the timing on this. But yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from
Yeah,
with
just
the
little
continuity.
plot hole.
Little continuity
Yeah,
errors.
Yeah.
just something.
So
It does not
said to be,
make
but-
a difference within the story.
Yeah,
No,
it
no,
seems
It's
pretty
just me.
minor.
It is just a thought that I had.
Nitpick. Yeah.
Yeah. Not even a nitpick, honestly.
Yeah.
Just a thought. I wasn't like, ugh, that's stupid.
just stupid.
I was just like, it's just a thought how far it was.
So Annie and some of the military police are going through, and we're kind of getting, Annie's the only person that's seen anything with Titans at all. She's meeting some of her brand new military police. There's one individual that thinks he's going to be...
Gonna change the world.
Got that chili
bowl cut.
His barber should be beaten.
Yeah.
Literally taken out back and tarred and feathered. Like, that is terrible.
Right.
He's kind of just saying like, I'm going to go through and I'm going to clean up this town. As they're walking to their first assignment as military police, he runs across another military police selling ODM gear. So you're kind of thinking, oh man, who are these people that are buying illegal ODM gear? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? At least
That's what it
I
appeared
was
to be.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The secret coalition.
Arms dealers.
This guy goes up and
What was that guy's name?
I don't know if they ever say it, do they?
they do.
They
One
do.
second.
It was something weird.
Marlowe was bull cut guy.
Oh,
He
was
confronts
so amazing.
He confronts this commanding officer and he's like, hey, you can't be doing this. It's illegal. And the military police guy's like, yeah, who's going to stop me? You? And he gets up in that guy's face and they kind of have,
And they kind of beat him down.
yeah.
Kind of.
And so,
Beat the shit out of it. It looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
Well, you get hit with a rifle a few times and kicked around a little
Learn.
bit. You learn your lesson real quick.
That's
All right, we're going to have you arrested and thrown in jail. And he's about to beat him down one more time with a butt. And Annie steps in and she's like, yeah, I think you better calm down there,
I think he's had enough.
Commander. What do you think? Think he had enough?
I think he's had enough.
I think he's had enough.
I think he's had enough.
Like, we'll go ahead and drive this lesson home.
Yeah, but they were also like, do you want a bigger problem in a crowd gathered?
Yeah.
And so they're this could turn into an issue.
Real
Are we
quick.
sure we're just not be done with it? And they were like, this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As they're going through, Annie's walking through with her fellow new MPs, and she hears, hey, Annie.
Yeah.
She goes down the whole back alley, and it's Armin, and have a small discussion
Yeah,
where
she's like, what the hell? Like,
What's
what are you
going on
doing here?
Yeah. She's shocked. She's like, hey, we're sneaking Aaron out because they're going to execute him. We need your help. Initially, she's kind of hesitant. She's like, I don't think so. And I don't remember how the conversation leads, but she's like, well, what do you think, Armin? Do you think I'm a bad person? Armin says something kind of interesting, I think, where he's like, well, I don't like putting labels on people because you don't know people's motivations. You don't know what's going on with them. So to say
Saying
something
that he
outright,
already knows he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
He's
He,
working
he
through
gave
it.
himself up.
Honestly, the moment we
she asks him, do you think I'm a bad person? He says,
He doesn't say no.
well, he says, if you don't help out
doesn't
with
say
this,
yes either. So
Right?
if you don't help out with this, I would assume that you'd be a bad person, is
Right.
what he ends the conversation. What were you
well,
saying?
when they
I'm
walk
sorry.
off, she puts the ring on her finger. Like, that's a scene, right? When they walk off, she puts that
She
ring
puts
right
that
on
ring
her finger.
Yeah. And you're kind of like, oh, that's kind
yeah,
of...
I kind of looked away for a second. I don't know if Armin gave her that ring or if she
No.
just
she
had
put a
it.
ring on. Yeah.
Yeah, she put the ring on.
Yeah.
You don't know what
For
it
the
is, though.
rewatch, you're like, oh shit, because you don't see the spiky part.
Yeah.
There
it
is
just
none-
looks like a
it-
ring.
Yeah, that for later on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Part of
hidden.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's very focused.
Yeah, it
That
zooms
she
in
put
that
this-
she's putting
she
a
put
ring
this
on.
ring
and you're like,
on.
oh,
It's
that's
animated,
interesting.
so it's not wasted
but,
footage.
right, so it is like
It-
for the rewatch. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah. We get a lot of interesting dialogue. Whenever I was kind of pitching the show to Lee, I was like, there are certain parts in this show, there is certain dialogue that you guys have already missed that I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to spoil anything. But there are certain scenes in this show that are just comments in passing, and it not necessarily always focused on the characters that we're following. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't catch things initially, and then you realize later on.
I
holy
love rewatchability.
Oh yeah,
I love that. I think that's great.
I mean, I love rewatching this too because
Honestly,
I'm like, how did you?
How did
I'm
you
looking
miss
for
that?
you guys' reactions, and I'm like, did you guys catch that? There's like one or two episodes specifically where this season where I'm like,
Nope.
No.
Didn't
nope,
catch it.
nope.
okay.
Yep,
And
didn't catch it.
you know, as I'm watching it, I'm like, shit, they're spoiling a shit ton in this episode, and I'm like,
See, that's
Nope.
my thing. Is
Okay.
like if I don't notice it,
Yeah.
and then
You're-
I watch the whole series and I watch it back, it'd be like, oh well,
that makes sense.
fucking
Yeah.
dropped
Yeah.
it there.
And the show is so good about it too, and I feel like whenever certain things happen later on in the future of this show, you guys are gonna be like, "Oh shit, it was right there the whole time."
Right.
Well,
Right
again, it's
under our
animated,
noses.
so
Yeah.
they're not going to animate something
that isn't important.
that isn't important.
Costs
So-
money.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of fun dialogue between Armin and Annie, and you don't really think that it's anything, but they're basically playing a mind game with each other. And this, that, what do you think about this? Oh, what's going on with this? Okay, what's going on with that? I don't think Mikasa and Eren really pick up on it at all.
Nope.
And as they're going through, they're like, okay, we're just going to take this shortcut underneath of this tunnel. And Annie's like, yeah, I'm not going down there.
They're pretty smooth about it, too.
Yeah, they are. First time watching it, you just kind of like,
it, yeah.
you don't understand what's going on. And
I
you're
did.
like, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
like
I
they're
didn't
trying to get her down
until she
underneath.
stopped. And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Okay.
yeah.
She knows what's up now.
Well,
And then she made a weak ass excuse of being afraid of the dark, and
Yeah.
Aaron's
They're
just
like-
you flipped a grown man on his ass.
Yeah.
You're so full of shit.
Yeah. And she realizes that Armin found out, and kind of the last piece of information from Armin that throws the entire thing off kilter is, why were you using Marco's ODM gear, Annie? Everything kind of clicks. And even Mikasa and Eren, who are in on this plan, are like, oh shit, they've been going back and forth on this entire conversation.
Right.
yeah.
You know, Andy just loses it. And I feel like I don't think Armin knew that it was the ODM gear. I think it was just a guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like throwing that last piece of the puzzle in there where it's like, I'm fishing for this information. And
Right.
Turns out it paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she loses her
she
shit.
does.
She
and
goes complete nut job.
She goes from having no emotion to
the Joker.
the Joker. Yeah.
And she just starts laughing and blushing. And
Even like
she's
how her arms are like folded in when she's laughing.
Yeah.
And she's like
Her
crazy.
eyes get like 3 times as big, and
Yeah.
she's just, I mean, she looked terrifying
Yeah.
like-
when she went full cycle.
I don't have to hide anymore.
Yeah.
It's the best part about this. I don't have to hide amongst you guys anymore.
Which is
And-
funny. So her nonchalant personality is her hiding everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how she controls.
She's trying not
Her
to give
emotions.
anything away.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of flips every scene with her up on its head too, where you look back on conversations on, if you were given order to die, would you do it?
Nope.
Yeah.
Fun for rewatch. And she's like, it's weird that you brought me to this abandoned place and now you're trying to take me underground, Armin.
Right.
And as it pans out,
Pans back,
you're
you see
seeing
all the
of these
scout
scouts
regiments and
Hiding behind buildings,
behind
on roofs, in alleys.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And
And it looked like even like civilians.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, they were dressed as civilians.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because you could see the blonde girl. I can't think of it. But
One
she
of,
come
she's
running
dressed.
up,
Yeah.
just comes barreling in to tackle her.
Yeah.
Right.
And they tie her mouth because she goes to bite her hand.
Yeah, they get both arms. They
Yep,
get a,
they
they
tie
get
her
a gag
mouth.
around her mouth, and she's still able to flip that ring around.
Has the little
Poke herself
razor
in.
blade on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and poke herself and
A
turn
nuke
it-
goes off basically.
basically.
And they're like,
Kills a bunch of
"Oh,
people."
Shit. And that's how this episode ends. Jumping right into our next episode, which is episode 24. What happened?
Smile Part 2.
Yeah, the second one, which is called Mercy, Assault on Stohess, Part 2. Recalling a meeting with the scouts as they suspect the female Titan's identity, Eren is too hesitant to transform into his Titan to fight Annie. Devising a plan to distract her, Mikasa and Armin split up to confront Annie, but Eren is crushed underneath a collapsing tunnel. Scout Regiment engages in battle with the female Titan, while Jean and Armin attempt to convince Eren to fight. When Eren finally finds his resolve, he transforms into his Titan form and clashes with the female Titan.
Go say your thing.
Round 2.
Round 5, actually.
Let's
Technically.
see.
Go
No,
ahead.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Got nothing? Really?
Because he's a whiny little
This
bitch.
one? Okay.
Because he's
I just say it all the time. I'm going to stop saying it.
Stop saying it. I'm gonna give a guy
I
a
don't want to
break.
be that person.
Gonna give a guy a break.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll say it. He wouldn't bite his thumb.
No,
or
he did.
He did
did.
bite
Get the
his
hell
thumb.
out of his hand.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't turn into a Titan because for some reason he's just like, well, Annie can't be the Titan because
I just saw her turn
I
into
just saw
it,
her
but
turn into a Titan and I still don't believe
But
it
he
with
has
my own
doubts.
eyes.
He has doubts about it, and I don't think that he's okay with fighting just nameless, faceless Titans.
But
But,
not Annie.
But I
now that
think
it's
he
his
also
friend-
is struggling with, like, why is he a Titan?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what
Yeah.
the hell's going on? You know, like,
he's no longer
Which
special.
kind of brings in the question on who gave Annie Titan powers.
Right?
I mean, that's what.
That's what it's all about.
That's the
whole
that's
thing.
the big question.
That's
the big dub.
that is
Like,
that'll
what
be
the
solved
hell
in
is happening?
season 4. I'm
Right.
assuming.
Yeah.
Season never.
This episode has a lot of backstory. of
Backflash.
them getting back, Armin finally saying, hey, pretty sure it's Annie.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's Annie.
And they're
I'm
like,
like
what? And,
90%.
you know,
What kind of proof you got? Well, I
Yeah.
think it is.
this, but I don't have any definitive proof. He asked everyone basically to put his career at stake
Yeah.
for this plan. He's like, I'm almost positive this is who it is, and it's going to take you deciding whether we do this or not. It's
Erwin-
also the only way to save Eren. You know,
Yeah.
like
Right?
It's a last-ditch Hail Mary effort, and Erwin trusts in Armin's knowledge.
I mean,
and
how often is he
strategic-
wrong? Not very often.
Right,
The,
and so-
the kid is just full of common sense. It's, you know, like he's just like, come on. I mean,
Connects the
connect
dots like
Yeah.
no other.
Connect the dot. Yeah, like
And so he suspects that, Marco's ODM gear was being used, which kind of leads to the question on, like, how did Marco actually die? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We're still kind of being led up with a new mystery, if you will. Annie even says, I didn't do anything to Marco. I just took his ODM gear. That's it.
Like I believe you.
Yeah.
Right?
When has she ever lied,
Every day.
yeah,
Per day.
So
yeah, it sucks bad.
Aaron
She's
gets
hot.
crushed underneath the...
I'll say it. I don't care. She's a cartoon, but she's hot.
Hey.
She's no Mikasa.
Nah, she's no Mikasa.
Blonde versus brunette. Tale as old as time.
I like Mikasa's skill.
Fight to fight.
Now that's who you want to be a Titan right there.
That'd be
Mikasa?
terrifying. Yeah.
Anyway,
We'll talk about that's just death.
Armin gets crushed underneath the underground because they're
The rubble.
running through. They're running through the underground because they're trying to escape from Annie, who just transformed into a Titan. And they see another scout unit underneath the tunnel, and they're like, "Hey, this way!
Crunch.
Plan A is completely gone through. We need to go through Plan B." And
Crunch.
Boom.
Here comes her foot
I
right
had
through
a
the ceiling.
sneaking
Through.
suspicion because like they were right in the middle.
Yeah.
With a bright ass light on top of them. I'm like, how much you want to bet that they're going to die
But
right
really,
now?
how the hell did she know exactly where they were?
She
She
didn't.
didn't. She took
did-
a lucky guess.
She was just crushing down into the.
I'm going to find you down there.
They're like, now is the time to change.
You need to
And
do
he
it now.
bites the shit out of his hand.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's gnawing on it.
Can't do
nothing.
And he can't do it. And they're like, come on.
What the hell are you doing?
And so
man?
they finally are like, all right, Mikasa, you go that way. Armin, you go that way. And they're like, we're going to try to get out and try to attack her. Mm-hmm. You stay here, Aaron. You know,
Whichever way she goes, you go the other way.
right. If you're not going to be able to transform.
We also get.
Unfortunately.
I mean, the most character development I feel like that we get this entire season, which is our friend John, who, as he's going through, female Titan appears, and he's like, all right, well, we gotta go. He's looking at all these MPs, and all these MPs are like, oh God, that's a Titan? That's what a Titan looks like?
Right.
And John's just like,
Can't believe I was
I
gonna be
can't
an
believe that I wanted to be one of these guys. These guys are freaking nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's flying over and he sees Aaron crushed underneath and he lets Aaron have it. He's like, I can't believe that we're putting all of our faith in you and you can't even muster to do your job and turn into a Titan for us. You're letting all of these freaking people die because of your inability to control yourself.
And he's just like, yeah.
No lie detected.
Yeah. So you guys were asking, when does Jean stop whining and complaining all the time?
Yeah.
Here we
Here
are.
we are.
Here we
job,
are.
John.
right now.
So, also during this, Captain Erwin is around a bunch of MPs, and
They turn on him. You brought the shit in our house. Like, our
Well,
house.
also,
you know?
because we forgot to say too that as they're sneaking Aaron out, they had Jean in a wig.
John was not happy about this.
Call
In
me
the
Jaeger
back.
one more time.
Right, and he's being scrolled throughout the city, and as soon as the female Titan appears, then he's like, all right, the jig's up, I'm getting out of here, and they're like,
Shut up, Jaeger.
He jumps out of there, and he's like, call me Jaeger one more time, and they're like, what the hell's going on here, Erwin? And they all draw their guns on it. Erwin tells Jean and the rest of the scouts, you guys need to take care of this, and we find out too that this is supposedly where the illegal ODM gear was being bought by, was from these scout units,
Yep.
so that they'd have all of the
ODM gear,
pieces come together with ODM gear and everything ready to go.
That's smart. That's smart writing.
Smuggled their own stuff in.
Yeah.
So that they could have it.
But then the MPs turn on them and they're
Erwin
like,
pulls their guns on him, and they're like, "What the hell are you thinking here?" And he's like, "Listen, it's the last ditch ever. There's
for
a
humanity.
yeah, there's a Titan right in here. I mean, this is the last time we see Erwin this episode. Is that they have their guns drawn on him, and Levi's just standing there like, I could care less,
Yeah.
But what's going on?"
Well, he's tired.
Jean
Always.
goes and does his thing with Aaron, and Aaron finally gets the gumption to
I'm going to kill them all.
kill them all. And dude, he sounds demonic.
Yeah.
I think anyway.
He even looks demonic when he's
Yeah.
like about to change. He gets like crazy.
Boom, another Titan appears, and you're like, oh shit,
Cage
it's
match.
about to go
Down.
down.
Yep.
Aaron's Titan's running through the city. We don't really see his Titan yet, and then you see the female Titan turn, and then boom, mean right hook.
Sucker punched.
all the way through and
Straight
into that
up
episode.
Falcon punched him.
Yeah. Falcon.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even shit. Episode 25, the season.
You got a poltergeist
one
in here, you know
finale.
that, right?
Yeah, which is called Wall.
Wall.
Whoa.
Very
Wall.
creative.
Interesting. Assault on Stohess, Part 3. The battle between Eren and Annie's Titan bring devastation to Stohess, leading up to a final struggle between the Titans near a damaged Wall Senna. Before she can be captured, Annie encases herself in a hardened crystal, while Eren and the scouts recover. Commander Erwin answers to the mayor of the city for the chaos which ensued. Despite heavy losses and untold destruction, Erwin believes the capture of Annie Leonhardt has brought humanity one step closer to understanding the true nature of the Titans. At the beginning of the episode, we get the wall religion, and they're
Yeah.
kind of praying
I like
to
that.
the walls.
Yeah, scene.
They're doing like a hymn, their own version of a hymn.
And we're
and
just like,
Ew.
please have a Titan come crushing in. And then what happens? A Titan just lands on all of
Annie
them.
lands on him.
crushes through them,
Splat.
all dead except for the priest.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Well,
damn.
that's rough.
We get an epic, if I could say the word,
Yeah.
epic battle
To say the
between
least.
Pretty good throwdown.
Yeah. It's one of the best ones, I think.
between Eren and Annie.
This time, Aaron is a little more prepared for her
Well,
style.
he gets his ass beat at first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, now
a
that-
little. Not. I mean, she.
She bashes his head in.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it starts off. He fares a lot better this time in the beginning because
Yeah.
he kind of knows her fighting style.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
He
it's
knows what
because
she's going to be
he-
doing because he knows who she is, and she just kind of gets the better of him because she has more abilities than he does.
Yeah.
You know, she hardens up those hands, and what are you going to do with that?
Right.
You know, and she thinks she's got him down, and she takes off running towards the wall to escape, and nobody's going to let that happen, which was great. She starts climbing that wall, and Mikasa goes after and chops her damn fingers off. I loved it.
Well, not yet.
Yeah,
Eren goes.
You left off a very important piece of detail.
Well, Aaron climbs on her and bites her leg
Well,
off.
not just that. He goes like
berserk mode.
he sets himself on fire. You know,
How
remember
does he
that?
do that?
I mean, how does she crystallize herself?
So
He
I'm-
has these like fire, and I don't know if it's a thing or if it's animation.
Yeah,
but
he looked like he had those red lines.
he goes like berserk mode, like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So I will say that when they put this episode out, the manga was still being written, okay? And so there was a lot of worry on like, oh, what happens if we get caught up, like if the show gets caught up with the anime? Is it going to happen the same way with One Piece where it's going to slow down? Is it going to turn into crap like Full Metal Alchemist? Not that you guys know, but the show caught up to the manga.
The Game of Thrones did.
Yeah, and then they made up basically based on whatever.
Yeah, Game of Thrones did.
Or
Yeah,
they could
exactly.
go like the Naruto
Walking
route
Dead.
and just have a shit ton of filler episodes,
Right.
That have nothing to do with the main story.
yeah.
So they wanted to go out with a bang because they didn't know if they were going to get another season or not. So they kind of inserted this Berserk Eren Titan, which we never see again in the rest
That's
of
what
the
I was
series.
going to ask you. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so,
terrible.
Yeah, so
That's
he still
lame.
is a badass, and he's still
That's why I like
learned
just put it
through.
up to animation.
Yeah, so
You know how they make him look certain
Badass,
ways.
yeah.
You know, his glowing green eyes or whatever.
His eyes were blue this time, by the way.
are
yeah.
they?
Yeah, they change all the time when,
Yeah.
when he's Titan mode.
So yeah, he goes crazy, and then they just go beat down, and she starts trying to run away from him, trying to escape because she realizes that there is no help. And yeah, he takes her head. Do you remember?
Yep.
And she squeezes it.
Right.
and like,
Just
oh,
squeezing the
Just red rushes her.
Yeah. Juice
red
coming out of
rushes
her.
her.
Red Rush.
Oh god. Bah.
But she gets up and takes off running.
She does, and
She
Mikasa-
crystallizes her fingertips.
She's starting to climb that wall. Mikasa's like,
No.
oh hell,
Not having
think
it.
so.
no,
Yeah.
hell no.
Not on my watch. I'm
Goes
getting
over-
them fingers.
Boom. Yeah, it takes out all of her fingers on
And
both
she
hands.
is looking rough, the Titan is.
Yeah.
Her
she's-
face is all smashed in.
She's getting whooped.
Yeah,
And
she's got whooped.
She's lost a
she
leg.
has like panic in her eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron bit one of her
Fear.
legs off.
As she's falling down, Mikasa kind of lands on her face. She's like, yeah, don't know what to tell you.
Now
They,
you
they fall together and she like kicks away from her. And yeah.
It's badass.
Uses her,
Yeah.
her gear.
Eren goes more insane, and he starts just beating the shit out of her, and then he pops her head off and exposes just her. We get a big blast. In between here, too, before we get into this, is we go back to Erwin, and they're showing all of the destruction that's happened all over Stohess. And these guys are like, you willingly brought this to us. You killed us. You brought this to Stohess, and everyone's freaking dying. And he's like, what reason do you have? And he goes, for humanity.
Right.
This is our
We had
best
to
shot.
catch it. Yeah.
Well, that's not going to fix my
we
roof.
have
My roof, though.
My roof.
We have Titans, in our midst. We need to figure out what's going on, and this is how we have to capture her. We have to figure out what the hell's going on.
Doesn't Levi come in and slice Aaron out to
Aaron
keep him
out.
from killing Annie? And he
then-
goes, you can't be killing our evidence.
She's
Sorry.
the only thing we got.
Can't eat it.
But yeah, as she's being pulled out, she
Crystallizes.
Well, yeah, he's on top of her, and it looks like they're melting together. But that's because her defense mechanism is kicking in, and all of a sudden she is encased in this crystal cocoon, and
Seemingly made out of the same
Aaron's
stuff.
out. Yeah, he got cut out by Levi. So they're like, well, what the hell? What good is this? Our number one witness is now in this crystal cocoon, and who is it that is trying to cut into it?
Jean.
Jean
Yeah.
is just beating the hell out of it and breaking his sword, and
He's like, we deserve answers. You cannot just do this to us.
they were like, get it underground. Like,
yeah.
right now.
we have
Right
to get
now.
this like,
Hanji's like, we need to get this under
as
and we're gonna
far
study.
underground as we possibly can. Let's get it figured out.
So, wrapping up the end of the season with the mayor of Stohess basically scolding Erwin, and you need to answer for your crimes on
Yeah,
exactly
look what you did
everything.
in my city, blah, blah, blah.
And
they're
my
like, come
roof.
on. Like,
My roof.
My
You'll be
roof.
my roof.
You'll be fine.
Do you know how much tax I need to fix my roof?
Right.
Right.
So Aaron's just like, I did it for humanity. Before we came along, we didn't even know that humans could be in control of these insane specialty titans. We don't think that Annie is working alone on this. And
Yeah.
so we kind of
She
get a
can't be.
tease on, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
There's more spies. And that's kind of what he told them is like, why didn't you evacuate? Why didn't you tell everybody what your
Because
plan
we're
was?
going to be fighting more than one Titan then.
Right.
Can't be trusted, people.
Yeah.
I only trusted the people I could be close with. the
I'm kind of
people that I
surprised
knew.
more Titans didn't pop up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Aaron is kind of recovering with Mikasa, and he's like, the only reason that I went crazy is that I wanted to die. I lost myself cleaning the Titan, and I felt good. And she's like, don't say that. You can't say that.
Yes, I can. Watch me. I like it.
I just said
See?
it. I literally just said it.
A little psychopath. I can't
Yeah.
help it.
Armin and Jean are then called upon by the mayor to answer, and as they're kind of walking back and forth and talking, we kind of keep glancing over to the wall, keeps teasing us, and you're thinking like, oh, it's just like the fingerprints on where Annie was climbing the wall, like just as a never-ending reminder of what just happened.
Right.
As they're going through there, Armin's kind of explaining things to the mayor as well about this is what I deduced. Thought it was Annie because of the ODM gear. Basically explained what we already talked about earlier. The episode ends with, we're going to keep hunting these Titans down. We're going to find them all. And Aaron swears again that he's going to kill them all.
Yeah.
And as we're going through, we get an in-credit scene, which is...
Yeah, it was the colossal titan in the wall.
Yeah, there was a colossal Titan embedded in the wall.
It's where her fingerprints were going through, part of the wall collapses, and you just see the face of a Titan. in
Just
there.
for a second.
And that's it. That's
That's
the
it.
end of season one.
That won't come up again.
Yeah.
It probably
Never.
won't.
What are your guys' thoughts? Season one.
I mean, it's good. I just hate that we don't have any answers.
Right.
Yeah.
It
At all.
was a slow burn for the first couple of episodes, but once it caught traction, it took off rather well with
Yeah.
a pretty satisfying season finale.
I would say the
Yeah.
last 10 episodes are great.
Yeah.
They're
I
really
think it
good
ended
episodes.
really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a really good finale. I would
First couple episodes, I struggled through them, honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
same.
And then when they got to the training boot camp, those were good episodes.
Right.
And then when they get out of it, you're still kind of like, you know.
Oh god. Oh god.
And then when, like I said, the last 10 episodes they're pretty solid episodes.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, the last three were really good.
Yeah, really good.
So that being said, if you guys were to rate season one on like I don't even know what we would call like should we do our movie scale?
I would
Should we
just do
make
1
another
through
one?
10.
1 through 10 for
Yeah.
TV?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we putting all TV or all anime into one?
I think anime should be its own kind of tier list because
Should it be, or,
I give it 4.
Yeah.
I give it 6
I'll
out
give
of
it
10.
5 random screams.
I give it I was getting ready to go there. I give it 3 wine sessions.
Yeah.
Now, out of a 10, season 1, I give it a 7.
Really?
7.5.
I'd give it like a 7.5 too.
Really? Okay.
I'm going 7.
7.
That's my first
What-
thought was 7.
What could have made it better?
Just some answers.
Some answers. Any lore that could have explained anything about the Titans.
we're
or made
building up.
made you feel like you just know something.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
how did we get
Show me
here?
something that only we can know, but they don't know.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
How
But
long have they been behind the walls? What
Like,
caused all of this?
me
They give you
something.
some of that, but it's not enough. It's like,
It's so vague.
Whoa.
yeah.
I think the whole point is that you're supposed to learn information the same time the characters do in the story.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
There's
And we-
a few
Clips.
Have a more likable main character.
Well, this just goes.
that would have got a solid more points.
This
for
just
me.
goes to show you that it is the central government because they built the walls.
Yeah, and if they're Titans in the wall, then yeah,
Who put them
gotta be.
there?
Who paid?
The
Who
central
paid for
government
this
did.
wall?
right.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You also have the wall
who
religion
paid
to
for
think
this
about
wall?
too. I mean, you have,
Not my wall.
Not my wall, not my
Problem.
problem.
That's what I say.
and again, we get the final shot of the season is Key swinging around Aaron's neck to
Yeah.
the basement. So back
So
to your mind.
there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot in, of course, 25 episodes to like kind of go back and be like,
Whoa. Yeah.
what was Aaron's dad doing? Who did he work for? You know, where are they? yeah. But overall, I'm looking forward to season 2.
Okay.
So-
News through this was that we were going to get through the first season you
and
guys
see
were
where
gonna
we were going to
decide.
go.
I wanna keep going.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
Keep going.
I mean, we already got past season 1, so we might as well watch season 2. And
So let
then-
me ask you this: does it get better as it goes?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. You get a lot more answers definitely within the next 2
That'll
seasons.
make me feel way better.
So,
How many
yeah.
episodes is season 2?
It's short.
But yeah, it's pretty short.
I think it's like 16.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There's only like 89 episodes total,
That's
and some of the last
25
are
are in the first. Yeah. So.
We're over a quarter of the way there.
yeah.
Yep.
Guys?
Calvin, what do you give it?
Dude, I'm gonna give it a 9. I love season 1. I
Okay.
thought it was great. I think that upon reflection, whenever we get to the final season, just in general, I think your rating of season 1 will go up drastically. I really do.
See, that's what kind of
'Cause you're
why I
gonna
can't
go
really.
through-
I didn't really want to rate it.
But
like,
that's the
now.
fault of season 1, not us. You know what I mean?
That's
no.
definitely the fault of season 1.
I think
in giving us a main character who we really want to hate.
right.
I mean, we want to hate him. I don't know if it's just us as a
collective.
or if it's everybody that watched this show
Yeah.
hated Aaron, but I can't stand him.
See, I don't really hate Aaron. I just think he's a frustrating character.
Yeah.
Like I don't like just say like
That's the
he's
thing,
a
though,
bad
is
main character.
When you're a frustrating character in anime, you are designed to be frustrating, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, he's very
the main-
clearly designed to be this way. Yeah.
Yeah.
How a lot of main characters in anime
Yeah.
are.
And it's just with the yelling and the whining, it's a little much.
Also, a lot of anime has that.
Yeah, I know. I've been told that. Yeah.
So, what's your wish list for season 2?
Season 2, I want to know who Annie's working for.
Okay.
And if you can give me any kind of backstory on how Titans came to be, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same here.
Same.
That's-
Yeah, I agree.
More Titan fights.
More Titan fights?
More Titan
Yeah.
fights would be
Yeah.
cool.
I'd like to just know where they're coming from.
I'd like to see the scout regiment actually go out and start.
I would like to see more of
Chopping
the
heads.
world.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'd want to see these people actually, fight Titans and not just like
Get handed by Titans
Right.
Yeah.
every single time.
even the most basic ones. Just
Right? Just seem to whoop their ass.
Yeah.
They don't have a chance in hell against that armored Titan.
Yeah.
or even the claws.
I will.
Go ahead.
No, go.
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you.
No,
no,
I want to
no,
finish your
no,
question
no,
because I'm
you-
going to go to the next one.
Go.
No, go ahead.
God damn. I'll go.
Okay.
I forgot. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, sorry.
I got nothing. Yeah, that's it.
That's
Bye.
it. Bye.
Okay, 1 second.
Bye.
though.
I'm just messing
You
with
can't
you.
just
Okay.
you can't just end it like
End
that.
it like that.
Oh, yeah?
So,
Well,
I did.
let me show you.
Whoa. Whoa.
Anyway, so you guys are crazy.
Yes, we are crazy.
With season 2 coming up, we're gonna go ahead and we'll probably watch the first 3 or 4 episodes. I think 1 through 4, maybe.
16.
So,
I think that 4 episodes is a solid.
Get
They're
through.
really short.
They are. They are.
When you skip the credits and skip the opening scene and the, you know what I mean?
Skip the recap.
There's like 10 minutes of episode.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that 3 to 4 is better than 2.
So I was telling Lee earlier too that the wait between season 1 and season 2 was 4 years.
That would piss me off so much.
They
Which
finished
means-
it. They didn't know if the studio was going to continue the editing, if they were going to keep the rights to continue on with it, or whatnot. So yeah, there was a 4-year gap between season
I would
1
have
and 2.
forgotten about this show completely.
Yeah.
That's probably why when we watch season 2, there's going to be a massive recap.
Ooh, speaking
yeah.
of which, Thursday, Silo season 2 comes out.
I gotta start watching that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Who animated this again?
Wit does season 1 through 4, and then Mappa does the last season.
I thought there
And
was
they're
only
both
4 seasons.
top 2.
It's called something else. The 5th
final-
season is
well,
called
the-
something else, right?
It's
There's
the
movies,
4th,
aren't
which is
they?
the final season, and then they have the final season part 2, and the final season part 3, and final season part 4. And there was like a year in between,
Can't
the
just-
last season.
You're making up your own
You
rules.
can't
Yeah,
just
it
make
was silly.
a final season
This
and
is-
be like,
this is-
no, this is actually the final
This
season.
is how we've gone with episodes of everything.
Yeah.
Is now 10 episodes max is all we're getting anymore for anything that has any substance.
Marvel
to it.
was 13. It's so weird. It used to be 24. That was the standard. 24 hour-long episodes. That's Star Trek. 24.
That was 24.
That was Lost. That was
24.
Heroes. Yeah, 24.
Everything. Cool. All right. Well,
I will say
concludes
that
season 1. Go ahead.
the average score is 7.75, like all of ours together. So that's like
almost
our,
an 8.
Our collective.
pretty good.
Yeah, our
solid.
collective.
All right. Awesome.
All right. We'll see
guys on the
you
next
for
one.
season 2.
Awesome. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh.